Bilger will bat 7th and play third base. The catcher, Dennis Petrie, will hit 8th, and Mike Reed will play left field and bat number 9. Post 22, 25, and 19 going into the game tonight. 25 wins and 19 losses. For Wayne Sullivan, he is making his 12th appearance of the season. He's won 4, lost 3, saved 1, and has a 5.91 earned run average on the year. Wayne has pitched a total of 32 innings for Post 22, allowed 36 hits, walked 17, and struck out 43, allowed 23 runs, 21 earned. 5.91 is his ERA. That has been inflated a little bit by a couple of bad outings Wayne had in relief earlier in the year. So Wayne Sullivan getting the start tonight. Post 22 will have just one game again tomorrow, and that game will be at 4 p.m. Rapid City time tomorrow, and Post 22 will take on Lethbridge, Canada. Post 22 defensively with Dean Bilger at third, Scott Wauer at short, the second baseman Steve Nolan, and Tom Doyle at first. Left to right in the outfield, Mike Reed, Sean Muffett, and Troy Ward. Dennis Petrie doing the catching, Wayne Sullivan the pitching, and we'll return with the opening pitch of tonight's game in 30 seconds. OTA, Post 22, and Claremont, California. And left-handed batting, Junior Pro up, and the first pitch is in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Post 22, who just got done playing a couple of games against West Covina, California, at home, of course, in the Firecracker, as Sullivan's 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. John Venazia, the shortstop, on deck, and then Tai Hashioka, the left fielder, to follow. Wind looks like it's blowing from the right field foul pole across the field towards the left field foul pole, as Sullivan's 2-strike pitch is a ball inside a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sullivan's been a pretty decent control pitcher this year for Post 22, and his strikeouts to innings pitched ratio is excellent. His 1-2 pitch is swung on, lined out into left field. Mike Reed is there, reaches up, and makes the catch. Junior Pro hitting a line drive to Mike Reed in left field for the first out. 1 down in the top of the first inning, and here's John Venazia, the shortstop. Venazia, right-handed batter. Post 22 will play the outfield straight away. Sullivan into the motion, and here's the pitch, and it is a strike called, and it's 0-1. Wayne, whose last couple of outings have come in relief. This is 12th appearance, his 5th start. There's a high fly ball down the right field line, drifting off into foul territory. Doyle giving chase, but the ball lands out of play. And the count now is 2 strikes. So Sullivan has worked in front of the first 2 hitters here from Claremont in the top of the first. Of course, Claremont is also no stranger to Rapid City. Claremont played Post 22 the last couple of times over the last few years in Rapid City. Count 2 strikes. John Venazia, the shortstop for Claremont. 1 out, top of the first inning, just underway. No score. Petrie hangs the sign out, sets up over the outside part of the plate, and a breaking ball is high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Eric Stonecipher leads the pitchers this year with 5 victories. Sullivan and Fossum each have 4, and there's a swinging strike 3 to Venazia. And there's out number 2 here in the first inning. So with 2 outs, nobody on, here is Tai Hashioka, the left fielder. A right-handed batter. Wayne Sullivan with 2 out and nobody on here in the top half of the first inning. Swings into the windup, and the left-hander's pitch is a fastball down in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Wayne looking in for the sign. Here's the pitch, and it is a let-up in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Mentioned Claremont's earlier game today, which they won. Pitch is a ball outside. 2-1 now in Hashioka. Claremont beat Cody, Wyoming 6-1. Hashioka was 1 for 4 in that game. He had a home run. Here's the pitch. He swings and lifts a high foul down the right field line, out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out and nobody on. Claremont batting here in the top of the first inning. We're running late. They had about an hour and a half rain delay here earlier today, which set everything back a little bit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Sullivan's pitch on the way. Half swing, he went too far, and he's out on strikes on a breaking ball as Hashioka couldn't check in time. And Sullivan records 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Nothing across for Claremont. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Claremont nothing, and post 22 coming to bat. The Miles City American Legion tournament. They've had this tournament now for, is this the 6th year or is it the 7th? This is the 7th year of this tournament. It started back in 1981. Las Vegas Valley has won the tournament the last 3 years. And in 84-85, Las Vegas beat Claremont in the championship game, and Claremont was also in the championship game back in 1982, and they lost that one also. Claremont, the team post 22 opening up play tonight with, has been in the finals 3 of the 6 years in this tournament, and Las Vegas has won it the past 3 years. Other champions were Bellevue, Washington in 83, Yakima, Washington in 82, and the Billings Scarlets in 1981. Post 22 will lead off, and here's Wayne Sullivan. Wayne, of course, normally the center fielder, starting tonight's game, is hitting .374 on the year. Wayne with 2 home runs. He's knocked in 17.
Up to bat for post 22.
And leads, well, is actually tied with Steve Nolan for the team lead in stolen bases. They have both stolen 20. Rich Vasquez, the third baseman, up to the edge of the grass as Sullivan bunts the ball back towards the mound. A good fielding play by Eric Gomez, and he throws Sullivan out at first base. Gomez got off the mound quickly and fielded that ball about 10 or 12 feet in front of the pitching mound and made a good throw to first base to get Sullivan, and there's 1 out here in the first inning. That'll bring up Steve Nolan, the second baseman. Steve hitting .275, a home run and 15 RBIs, also 1 double, 1 triple. Right-handed batter, again, Vasquez up to the edge of the grass at third, and the left-hander Eric Gomez delivers high and outside, ball 1. Vasquez at third, John Venassia, the shortstop, Joe Ingraham at second, Glenn Cottle at first. Hashioka, Pro, and Paz left to right in the outfield. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nick Cece doing the catching, and Eric Gomez, the left-hander, pitching for Claremont. I get a kick how they portrayed Claremont here in the program as the 1-1 pitch is on the way to Nolan. Swung on and missed. It's like a slider, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Claremont is a retirement community of 25,000, and it's on the eastern side of Los Angeles. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Steve Nolan. It swung on, lifted high in the air to deep left field, way back. Hashioka to the wall. It's gone. A home run for Steve Nolan, his 2nd of the year. He hit his first home run of the year last Saturday night, and he hits this one well over the fence in left field. His 2nd home run of the year, his 16th RBI, and Steve Nolan's home run puts post 22 ahead here in the bottom of the first inning. And there wasn't much doubt when that one left the bat. So Nolan now with 5 extra base hits, or 4 extra base hits on the year, and 2 of them have been home runs. So here is Troy Ward, the right fielder, batting .341. Troy leads the team in home runs with 4, and he's knocked in 27. Eric Gomez to the windup, and the pitch is swung on and fouled at the plate off the catcher. No balls and a strike. John Venazia, the shortstop, is actually a step or so on the outfield grass. The outfield a step or so around to the left for Troy Ward. Ward with 10 doubles, a triple, 4 home runs. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swung on a line drive off the glove of the third baseman Vasquez, and he has to retrieve it on the edge of the grass behind third base. And let's see what they're going to give Ward, a base hit. So Sean Muffett will be the batter. Muffett batting .390, leads the team in average at .390. 1 home run, 39 RBIs, second only to Tom Doyle, who's on deck in the RBI race. Throw to first base, and Ward is back. Troy does not have a stolen base this season. Gomez working out of the set. Checks Ward at first base, and here's the pitch. Swung on, a foul, out of play off to the right. Gomez has a good move. Troy Ward that time was actually moving back to first base when the pitch was delivered. That's going to be pretty difficult to steal on a left-hander, but especially one with a good move like Gomez. 1 out, bottom of the first inning. Rapid City leading 1-0. Here's the set now by Gomez. A long look and the pitch. Low and inside, a ball, it's 1-1. Muffett with 6 doubles, 4 triples. His 4 triples lead the team. Sean's hit total is the highest on the team. He has 57 hits going into tonight's game. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the set and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Muffett, who's the toughest player, one of the toughest on the team to strike out. He has struck out only 14 times in 146 at-bats, just about once every 10 at-bats. Dean Bilger also has a very good strikeout to at-bat ratio. Here's the pitch to Muffett. Way outside, a ball. The catcher throws down to first, but Ward gets back. Cece, the catcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Muffett. Troy Ward at first base and 1 out. Sullivan, the leadoff man, was retired when he was thrown out by Gomez, the pitcher, trying to bunt himself on. Nolan hit a home run. Ward got a single. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul, chopped in back of home plate. So the count runs along at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tom Doyle is the on-deck batter. Dave Plouffe coaching at third. Over in the first base coach's box, Les Reiners. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Muffett. Here's the set by Gomez. And the pitch. Swung on, a bouncing foul, hit outside of third. Rolling down the left field line, and the count runs along at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eric Gomez, who also can play the outfield, can play first base for Claremont. Out of the set. A long look to first, and the 2-2 pitch to Muffett, and he fouls it at the plate. Just got a piece of it. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's an 18-year-old left-hander, graduated from high school this past spring. Ward still the runner at first. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. The pitch to Muffett. It's low, bouncing to the plate, blocked by the catcher Cece, and Ward hangs on at first base. So the count now on Muffett is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Quick conversation on the mound between Gomez and Cece. They play Muffett, a step around to the left in the outfield. Three balls, 2 strikes is Muffett. Getting set to step back in now. Infield double play depth. Gomez looking in for the sign. Here's the set. And the left-hander's pitch. The runner goes. The pitch is ball 4, bouncing past the catcher. It's ball 4, and Ward goes to second. So post 22 now with runners at first and second, 1 out. One run in, and the batter will be Tom Doyle, a left-handed batting first baseman. Tom batting at .374 with 3 home runs and a team-leading 49 RBIs. Doyle also leading the team in doubles with 19, and he has 1 triple. So post 22 with runners at first and second, 1 out. The first baseman Cottle holding with Muffet. Left-hander against left-hander, and the pitch is a slider strike on the outside corner, more of a sweeping breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. Rapid City with the home run by Nolan with a run in. Here's the stretch and the pitch. And it's high with a breaking ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 on Doyle. Scott Wauer waits on deck. Gomez delivers. Inside a ball, it's 2-1. Doyle can hit left-handers. He had a long double in the game Saturday afternoon against Waite Park against left-hander Tim Sigler of Waite Park. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, a curve away. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tom, who's walked 33 times, which is second on the team, and he also has struck out 33 times in 136 at-bats. 2-2 now the count. They're trying to bluff Ward back to second base. The pitch is high and tight for ball 3. So he's run the string out on Doyle, 3-2. Ward at second, Muffet at first. A big pitch here from Eric Gomez with Wauer on deck. Here's the set. The payoff pitch, and Doyle takes a fastball inside. It spins him away for ball 4. And post 22 has loaded the bases here in the first inning. The bases are loaded. 1 out, 1 run in, and Scott Wauer, the shortstop. Scotty hitting just .210 with no home runs and 13 RBIs, but he's played a good defensive shortstop for post 22. And he had the game-winning hit, of course, Saturday against Waite Park. Infield double play depth. Infield in at the corners. The pitch to Wauer. He swings and rolls a foul off to the left of home plate. 1 strike on Wauer. Scott with 2 extra base hits, both doubles. Total of 26 hits on the year and 124 at-bats. Ward at third, Muffet at second, Doyle at first. Here's the set by Gomez, and the left-hander's pitch. Outside a ball, it's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Post 22 with a great chance here to really jump on Claremont early in the game. The pitch, high and outside. 2 balls and a strike and a pickoff play at third, but Ward is back. 2 balls and a strike now in Wauer. The on-deck batter is Dean Bilger. Here's the set, the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a foul and back to the screen, and it's 2-2. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Scott Wauer. Post 22 is 2 hits in the inning and a couple of walks from Gomez. The stretch and the pitch. Wauer takes strike 3 on the outside corner, and Scotty is caught looking for out number 2, and that's a big out for Gomez. 2 down here in the first inning. The batter will be Dean Bilger, the third baseman. Dean is hitting .436, 17 for 39. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike, a breaking ball in. No balls and a strike. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch, and Dean swings and misses. Pickoff play at first base, and Doyle is back. The catcher again, Cece, coming out of the chute behind home plate. Third time he's tried to pick off a runner here in the first inning. But Gomez has had Dean looking at a breaking ball and then out in front of a breaking ball. Here's his 0-2 pitch to Bilger. Curve is fouled back. Count is still no balls and 2 strikes. That is not my play. No balls and 2 strikes. There's glass in front of it, and I'm just not totally convinced it's unbreakable. No balls and 2 strikes. Bilger with the bases loaded, the pitch on the way, and he had him reaching for a breaking ball, and Dean hit it right off the end of the bat. Fouled it off to the right, and the count is still 2 strikes. Dean, of course, who broke a finger on his hand and missed 3 weeks of the season in June. He's got a good bat, and he's learning the third base position. He's done a good job so far with the stick, though, hitting .436. He swings, and it's a bouncing ball, a 2-hopper out to the second baseman, Ingraham, and he tosses to first base for the out to retire the side. 4-3 on the putout, so post 22 gets just the 1-1 and the home run by Nolan. 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 3. So at the end of 1 inning of play, it's Rapid City 1 and Claremont, California nothing. After the first inning of play on Steve Nolan's second home run of the year, but post 22 really had a great chance to add to their lead, loading the bases with 1 out, but getting nothing more. So Wayne Sullivan, who retired Claremont 1-2-3 in the first inning and a couple of strikeouts, will face the 4, 5, and 6 batters for Claremont here in the top of the second. And the leadoff hitter will be Rich Vasquez, the third baseman. A few sprinkles coming down, nothing heavy at all right now, just a few light sprinkles. It was cloudy and overcast when we came to the ballpark. Looked rather threatening at times off to the west, but there's been no rain since they had some this morning. Vasquez, the third baseman, was 0 for 2 in Claremont's win over Cody. Scored a run. Right-handed batter. And Sullivan's first pitch. He is up high for ball 1. Post 22 defensively so far in the year in 44 games has committed 82 errors. As a strike is called, a fastball belt high over the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. 82 errors for post 22, which really isn't that bad. Compared that to the opposition, which has committed 116. As Vasquez hits a foul off to the right. A ball and 2 strikes on the Claremont third baseman. Jorge Paz, the right fielder, is on deck. Outfield is straight away. The 1-2 pitch from Sullivan is on the way, and it's way outside a ball, 2-2. Rapid City with just 1 game tomorrow. They'll play at 4 p.m. against Lethbridge, Alberta. Then they have 2 games on Saturday. Swinging a roller foul in back of home plate. Count runs along on Vasquez. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Petrie flashing the sign. Sullivan out of the windup. The 2-2 pitch. It is a ball inside. He threw him a breaking ball. Didn't miss by much, and it's a full count. Claremont beat Cody today. They had 6 runs on 7 hits. Cody just had 1 run on 2 hits. The payoff pitch to Vasquez. Swing and a miss. The ball pops out of Petrie's mitt. He'll have to toss down to Doyle at first for the putout. And there is strikeout number 3 for Sullivan. His 3rd in a row. And there's 1 out here in the second.
Right fielder, Jorge Paz.
Here is Jorge Paz, the right fielder. The number 5 batter, right-handed hitter. Wayne Sullivan, who is now retired 4 in a row to start things off, and Wayne wants a new baseball. On Saturday, we said post 22 will have a doubleheader. They'll play an 11 o'clock morning game. We'll have that one on radio against Bismarck, North Dakota. A fastball, a little bit high, may have been inside. 1 ball and no strikes and pause. 11 o'clock on Saturday. And that game will be on radio. And also Saturday night they will play Hancock, Michigan. Pitch outside, ball 2 to pause, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield straight away. As Sullivan delivers. Up high, ball 3. So Wayne behind, pause 3-0. Glenn Cottle, the first baseman, will hit next. Three balls and no strikes, and Sullivan's pitch. That is a ball inside. Didn't miss by much, but it missed, and Paz is down to first base. I think Sullivan thought he had a piece of the strike zone on that pitch. In any event, Paz is down to first base with a walk, and it brings up Glenn Cottle, the first baseman. Cottle, a right-handed batter. Doyle now holding with Paz at first base. Paz had a stolen base in their game against Cody. Here's the set. Wayne will throw to first base. A couple of left-handers here, and of course it's tough to steal on a left-hander, especially, as we said, if they have a good move. Gomez looks like he has a pretty good move, and Sullivan has a fair move. Here's the pitch. Up high, ball 1. 1-0 to Cottle, so Sullivan now is having trouble finding the strike zone. Wayne has missed 5 in a row now. A runner at first base, 1 out. Post 22 leading 1-0, top of the second, and Wayne throws a fastball through at the knees for a strike, and it's 1-1. Gomez, the pitcher on deck, infield double play depth. Post 22 has turned only 15 double plays this year. Here's the pitch. Outside, a ball, and it's 2-1. Of course, the key to Sullivan's success, he's got to have his good breaking ball going. If he can throw his curveball for strikes, he can be very, very tough. 2-1 on Cottle. Runner at first base. He goes. They picked him off. Doyle gets the throw from Sullivan down to Nolan, and they get the runner at second base, Paz. Paz broke just a bit too early, and Sullivan made a nice throw to Doyle, who threw down to Steve Nolan, a 1-3-4 pickoff, and Jorge Paz out trying to go to second. So there's the second out of the inning. The count is 2-1 on Cottle. 2 out and nobody on. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on a high chopper left to the mound, fielded by Sullivan. He turns, throws to Doyle in time for the out. Good fielding play by Sullivan coming off the mound. Play goes pitcher to first, 1-3. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base, and we go to the bottom of the second. Rapid City 1 and Claremont, California, nothing. Batting at .323 with 1 home run and 17 runs batted in. Dennis has done a good job behind the plate this year. Petrie with 25 games played, and Dave Grunstrom has also played in 25 games. They have split the catching. Pitch is down low for ball 1 to Dennis. 1 ball and no strikes. Dennis Petrie, who has got 1 more year of eligibility left. Eric Gomez, the left-hander for Claremont, delivers. It is a ball low, and it's ball 2. Dennis hit his home run against Yankton early in the season on the trip to Omaha. Post 22 stopped off to play at Yankton, where the South Dakota State tournament will be this year. A high breaking ball to Dennis, ball 3. And Gomez, who walked 2 men in the first inning, is behind Petrie 3-0. They play Dennis pretty much straight away. And Gomez delivers 3-0. And it's a ball inside, and Petrie's down to first base. Walk number 3, given up by Eric Gomez. He's given up 2 hits, 1 strikeout. And it brings up the left fielder, Mike Reed, batting in the number 9 spot. Mike batting at .205 with no home runs and 4 RBIs. He's only had 44 at-bats, 9 hits, all singles. He might be bunting here. The third baseman, Vasquez, is up to the edge of the grass. Here's the pitch. He's around to bunt, taps it foul, down and back. Reed, who has sacrificed twice on the year, bunts that one foul, and it's 1 strike. Mike Reed, who is 16, will have a couple of years left to play. Mike attends St. Martin's High School. No balls and a strike. And a toss to first base. Petrie is back. Dennis, no stolen base attempts on the year over at first. Again, the third baseman Vasquez up on the grass. Gomez will deliver, and the ball is bunted foul again at home plate. So Mike, trying to sacrifice, has bunted a couple of pitches foul, and he's in the hole now, 2 strikes. So we'll see if Dave Plouffe takes the bunt off or not. Post 22 generally has been a very good bunting team over the years. They stress that a lot during the season. Here's the set. The third baseman still up on the grass. Reed is going to swing away and takes the pitch outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dennis Petrie, who's on at first base, along with Nolan and Wayne Sullivan, all lead the team in that category. They all have 4 sacrifice bunts. Here's a toss to first base, and Petrie is back. Mike Reed with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Here's the set and the pitch. A little bit high and may have just missed outside. Close pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Mike Reed still up there with a 2-2 count. Mike with good speed. Here's the stretch. The 2-2 to Reed. High, ball 3, and it's 3-2. So Gomez had Reed 0-2 on 2 bunt attempts, and now the count is full. Glenn Cottle holding with Petrie at first base. Here's the set. The 3-2 pitch. It's too low. Mike Reed walks, and Gomez issues his 4th walk of the game after having Reed with an 0-2 count. And we're going to have time called now, and the coach for Claremont is going to make a trip to the mound. Jack Helber, manager, going to the mound. "17-man roster for Claremont into this tournament according to the program, and Eric Gomez, the pitcher, is struggling here. Conversation is brief. So post 22 with runners at first and second. They lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Nolan hit his home run with 1 out in the first, and then Rapid City went on to load the bases with 1 out but didn't score any more. And now post 22 has runners at first and second and nobody out. Wayne Sullivan tried to bunt himself on in the first inning, was thrown out by the pitcher. He's around to sacrifice and bunts it up the first base line. It is going to roll on the line. It stays on the line. It'll be a fair ball, a base hit for Sullivan. How do you like that? Sullivan, trying to sacrifice, rolled it up the first base line. It looked like it was going to roll foul, but then it looked like it hit a little stone or something and stayed right on the line. And Sullivan has a bunt single, and the bases are loaded. So Petrie is now at third, Mike Reed at second, Sullivan on with a bunt single at first, and the batter will be Steve Nolan, who hit his home run back after Sullivan had been thrown out trying to bunt himself on in the first inning. So Nolan up. Now he steps out of the batter's box as Sullivan gets the warm-up jacket on at first base. The bunt single for Sullivan, Rapid City's 3rd hit. And post 22 again with a golden opportunity here. The pitch to Nolan. Outside, ball 1. 1-0 on the Rapid City second baseman. One ball and no strikes. Gomez from the belt. Here's the pitch on the way outside. Ball 2, and it's 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Gomez is really struggling with his control. The 4 walks indicate. The bases are loaded, the 2-0 pitch, and that's in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Infield double play depth. Cottle holding with Sullivan at first. The third baseman Vasquez even with the bag. The 2-1 pitch to Nolan is hit foul off to the right of home plate, out of play. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Troy Ward on deck. Nolan came into the game hitting .275. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It is a ball outside. A full count now on Nolan. So another big pitch for Eric Gomez. Got some activity, it looks like, now down in the bullpen for Claremont down the right field line. Here's the payoff pitch to Nolan. It's too low. Ball 4, and Steve walks. That forces in Petrie and puts Rapid City out in front 2-0, and this is going to be all for Eric Gomez. So Nolan gets credit for an RBI, his 2nd of the game, his 17th of the year. And Eric Gomez is going to see the end of the line right here. So Gomez will leave. He also can play the outfield and first base, so let's see where he goes. He's going to stay in the game. And it looks like he's going to move to the outfield. So Rapid City with a run in. They still have the bases loaded and nobody out. It's 2-0. And Troy Ward will be up when play resumes. So we do have a pitching change. And it does look, as we said, like Gomez is going to stay in the game and go to center field. And it also looks like that the new pitcher is going to be the center fielder, Junior Pro. So it's going to be a switch of the center fielder and the pitcher. Junior Pro is coming in to pitch. Eric Gomez goes to center field. We have a pitching change in the bottom of the 2nd. It's 2-0 Rapid City. And we'll return with more action from Miles City right after this message.
Need yellow bulbs in here.
Well, Junior Pro is the new pitcher coming in from center field, a straight switch, and Pro is also a left-hander. Nobody out here in the 2nd, so Gomez goes just the 1 inning. Gave up a total of 3 hits. He walked 5. He struck out 1. He's given up 2 runs, and he's responsible for all 3 men on base. And the batter, Troy Ward. Troy had a single off the glove of the third baseman Vasquez in the 1st inning. He came in at .341. 2-0, post 22, and they're still looking for more here in the bottom of the 2nd. The set by Pro. Here's the pitch, and it's in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Troy, who has also got a pretty good ratio of strikeouts to at-bats, only 15 strikeouts and 126 at-bats, which is very good considering he's a free swinger up there. Pitches low and inside. Scooped out by the catcher, Cece, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Post 22 breaking out their blue uniforms for the first time this year. But they're wearing their red pants with the blue tops as Pro steps off the pitching rubber. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Mike Reed at 3rd, Wayne Sullivan at 2nd, and Steve Nolan at 1st. Nobody out. 1-1 on Troy Ward. Junior Pro sets and delivers. It's swung on and fouled back to the screen, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Troy, who really got going with the bat about the middle of June. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the set. And Pro's pitch. Swing and a foul back to the screen. He had a good rip at that pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes still. The outfield is about 2 or 3 steps around to the left in the outfield. Infield double play depth. Here's the pitch on the way. It's swung out, a bouncing ball in the hole between third and short, a base hit. Reed scores. Sullivan's being waved to the plate. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. Sullivan scores. It's 4-0 Rapid City. Hanging on at second is Steve Nolan. A 2-run single for Ward. His 28th and 29th RBIs of the year. And for post 22, a 4-0 lead. And still nobody out now with runners at first and second, and the batter will be Sean Muffett.
22, center fielder Sean Muffett.
Muffett walked in the first inning, and his average still sits at .390, leading the team. So Nolan from second, Ward from first, and Pro's pitch. Muffett around the bunt and bunts it foul back to the screen. 1 strike. Well, so far in this game, post 22's bunting hasn't been that good, although Mike Reed, who couldn't bunt, eventually walked and has scored a run this inning. No balls and a strike. 4-0 as Rapid City scored 1 in the first. They've scored 3 here in the second. Here's the set by Junior Pro and the pitch. And that's in for a strike, a hard slider, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. The starter, Gomez, is still responsible for Nolan at second. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's swung on and missed. A fastball up and away that Muffett chased, and he is out. 1 away here in the second. Well, we talked about how tough it is to strike out Sean Muffett, and I've jinxed him again. Here's Tom Doyle, the first baseman. Tom walked in the first. He's going to face another lefty here. Here's the stretch by Pro and the pitch. And it's outside, just missed the corner at the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. Pro looks like he's got a pretty good arm, pretty live fastball. Looks like he also throws a hard slider. Here's the set and the 1-0 pitch. Threw him a breaking ball that time, and it is a strike called. Doyle turned away from that pitch. In fact, the first pitch looked much better than that one did. 1 ball and 1 strike. The first baseman, Cottle, playing in back of Ward at first base. Nolan over at second, 1 out. 3 runs in here for post 22 in the second. Now time is called as Doyle steps out. Tom stepping back in, a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul off to the left. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Doyle had a pretty good rip at that pitch. 1-2 on Doyle. His average still at .374, 49 RBIs, 3 home runs, and a team-leading 19 doubles. Tom still after that doubles record of 33 in one season, set by first base coach Les Reiners back in 1983. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3. Doyle dropping the bat at home plate. I don't know why he dropped his helmet, too. It's only 2 outs.
Up the bat for post 22, shortstop.
Tom was ready to run out to the field, but that's only the second out. He's called out on strikes. A pitch letter high. Tom didn't think so, but he's out. 2 outs now, and here's Scott Lauer, who was called out in the first. Here's the set by Junior Pro and the left-hander's pitch, and line drive into left field. Over goes the left fielder Hashioka, and he can't get to the ball. It bounces over near the fence. In the score comes Nolan. Ward is going to go to third as the throw comes into the plate. Lauer with his 14th RBI, a double to left center.
Third baseman Dean Bilger.
Nolan scoring and Ward ending up at third. And it's 5-0 now, post 22, and the batter will be Dean Bilger, the 9th man to hit this inning for Rapid City. Lauer's double is 3rd of the year. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, a fastball away from Bilger. So that completes the log on Gomez. He gives up 3 hits and 5 runs in 1 inning of work. 1 strike on Dean, who grounded out to the second baseman to end the first. The pitch to the right-handed batter is cut on and missed for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Two out. Troy Ward at third. Scott Wauer at second. The set by Junior Pro. The pitch on the way, and it's fouled back to the screen. And the count is still 2 strikes. Rapid City with 5 runs. 5 hits. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He fooled Dean with a breaking ball. Bilger strikes out, and Pro actually fanned 3 men in the inning. Rapid City scores 4 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 left. So at the end of 2, it's Rapid City 5 and Claremont, California nothing.
Go.
Top of the 3rd inning as Rapid City leads 5-0. It will be the lower third of the batting order to face Wayne Sullivan. Wayne has given up just a walk over the first 2 innings. And the man he walked, Jorge Paz, last inning, he picked him off. He has struck out 3. Eric Gomez will step in. He started the game on the mound, is now in center field. He's a left-handed batter, and Claremont comes to bat top of the 3rd inning. Gomez played first base for Claremont in their win over Cody. He went 1 for 4 in that game. Here's the pitch to him, and a breaking ball is high for ball 1. One ball and no strikes, and the pitch on the way. Fastball strike at the letters, and it's 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. Gomez tries to bunt the ball and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gomez trying to bunt that one to the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trying to get something started for Claremont here in the top of the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. His 4th strikeout for Sullivan on a breaking ball. And Gomez is down 1 away, and here's Nick Cece, the catcher. Cece, a right-handed batter. Cece was 1 for 3 against Cody with an RBI. He also pitched 1 inning of relief in that game, batting in the number 8 spot, and he takes a hook in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Sullivan with total of 4 strikeouts now in 2 1/3 innings. Here's the left-hander's pitch to Cece. It's a ball low. He started to go, and it is ruled a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield straight away on Cece as Sullivan delivers. And it's a ball high, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. And the Claremont catcher waits as Sullivan throws 2-1. Swung on, a bouncing ball out to short, 2 hops to Wauer. It's in the glove. The peg to Doyle at first base is good for the out, and there are 2 down. Short to first to get Cece.
Off the bat,
That'll bring up the second baseman, Joe Ingraham, for Claremont. 2 down here in the 3rd. Wayne Sullivan looking magnificent here in the early going. Two out and nobody on as Sullivan kicks and throws. Ingraham looks at a breaking ball inside, ball 1. Well, we said at the start, if Wayne can get his breaking ball over, he can be very, very tough, and he's been doing that so far. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ingraham takes the fastball on the outside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. They do have a 10-run rule in the tournament. That's after 5 innings. Still far away from that. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a high fly ball into center field. Muffet moving to his left towards right center under the ball. And Sean Muffet corrals it for out number 3. 1, 2, 3 for Claremont as Wayne Sullivan has faced only 9 batters in the first 3 innings. 3 up and 3 down. At the end of 2 1/2, it's still a Rapid City 5, Claremont, California nothing. And 1 a little bit misleading. And he sure pitched a fine ball game so far, as he's held Claremont hitless over the first 3 innings and just the 1 base runner on a walk, and then he picked the guy off. Wayne came into the game with 4 wins and 3 losses. In the bottom of the 3rd for post 22, it will be Dennis Petrie, Mike Reed, and Wayne Sullivan, the 8, 9, and leadoff hitters. Petrie led off the 2nd and drew a base on balls and later scored in the inning. A windup by Junior Pro, and the first pitch is a ball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. They swing around to the left in the outfield for Petrie. Junior Pro's pitch. Bounces it to the plate. Nick Cece blocking it, takes his face mask off and looks out at his pitcher and saying, "What are you doing?" 2 balls and no strikes. Dennis came into the game and is average still at .323. There's ball 3 in the dirt, and it's 3-0. Eric Gomez, who started, walked 2 men in the first inning, but none of them scored. But then he walked 3 men in the second, and all 3 of them scored. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That is a ball inside. It caught the umpire also. And Petrie has walked for his 2nd time, and that is the 6th. Well, apparently that pitch was a strike. So they've called Petrie back. Apparently that pitch was a strike, and it's 3-1. The umpire must have been in pain and couldn't see the pitch. So they've called Petrie back, and they've called the pitch a strike, so it's 3 balls and a strike. And Dennis Petrie will still be at the plate as they look over the home plate umpire. He's going to try to shake it off. Third base umpire running in. They've employed 4 umpires for this game. Third base umpire ran in and said to the home plate umpire, "Did you really call that pitch a strike?" That's not what he said at all. I'm just joking. That's not what he said. He's getting looks like some ice down there. He's getting some ice down there in his hand, so we'll have a slight delay here. It's 5-0, post 22 leading in the 2nd inning. Nolan hit a home run in the 1st inning, his 2nd home run of the year. And then the Post added 4 runs in the 2nd, a bases-loaded walk to Nolan, a 2-run single by Ward, and an RBI double by Scott Wauer. Home plate umpire still getting some attention down there. Looks like it caught him on his left wrist. So we have this delay. Rapid City, with a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Petrie, will play 1 game tomorrow. It will begin at 4 p.m., and they will play Lethbridge, Canada. Then on Saturday, they will play 2 games at 11 o'clock in the morning against Bismarck, North Dakota. We'll have that game on the air at 11 o'clock, and then at Saturday night, they will play Hancock, Michigan. So our home plate umpire has fought off the injury and returns behind the plate. And we have a count of 3 balls and 1 strike on Dennis Petrie, leading off here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for post 22. Junior Pro, who relieved the starter Eric Gomez in the 2nd, delivers, and it is another strike at the knees, and it's 3-2. Mike Reed on deck. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, a grounder foul off to the right. Count runs along at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes, and Dennis Petrie, and Pro's pitch on the way. A ball inside, and there goes Dennis down to first base. So he does walk for the 2nd time, and the 6th base on balls given up by Claremont pitching. That'll bring up Mike Reed, the left fielder. Mike, after failing on 2 attempts to sacrifice in the 2nd, later drew a walk and then scored eventually in the 2nd inning. Here's the pitch, and he looks at it down low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Mike Reed. Mike still at 205, came into the game 9 for 44. Right-handed batter. Cottle holding with Petrie at first base. Infield double play depth as Reed swings and misses at a fastball away that Mike chased, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Miles City really had a nice crowd tonight for their game here against Lethbridge. A real fine turnout. Here's a toss to first base, and getting back is Petrie. They've worked very, very hard on this tournament. And they've really done an excellent job. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in for a strike. Good pitch by Pro, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Reed. One and 2 on the Rapid City left fielder batting in the number 9 slot. Petrie with not a big lead off at first base. Here's the pitch. Mike swings and misses at the fastball, striking out. So that's Junior Pro's 4th strikeout in relief. So there's 1 out, a runner at first base, and the batter now Wayne Sullivan. Sullivan tried to bunt himself on in the first inning, was thrown out, and then attempting to sacrifice in the second, he bunted the ball up the first baseline. The ball hugged the line, and Sullivan was able to beat it out for an infield single. So Wayne is 1 for 2. 1 out and Petrie at first base. Here's the pitch. And a breaking ball inside. Almost had Wayne bailing out on the pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. Vasquez respecting Sullivan's attempted bunts up at the edge of the grass at third as Wayne swings and fouls a breaking pitch off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sullivan came into the game at 374 and is up that a couple of points with his 1 for 2. Wayne leading the team in at-bats now. This is 150th official at-bat. He grounds a foul off a fastball outside of third. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wayne Sullivan, who so far has had a real fine year for Post 22. Here's the set by Pro, the left-hander with a look and the pitch. And Wayne, it's a ground ball to the left of the second baseman who can't quite get to the ball. It goes on into right field for a base hit, and Petrie checks in at second base. Sullivan with a ground ball between Cottle, the first baseman, and Ingraham, the second baseman, made a diving attempt. Just got a tip of the glove on the ball, but it went on into right field, so Sullivan has his second hit. Rapid City's 6th hit in the game. Runners at first and second, and the batter now is Steve Nolan. Nolan hit his 2nd home run of the year in the first inning over the left field fence and then drew a bases-loaded walk in the second. Post 22-5 in Claremont, California, nothing here in the last half of the 3rd inning. Runners at first and second. 1 out. Little delay as Sullivan gets the warm-up jacket on at first base. Cottle holding with him. Petrie leads from second. Pro's pitch, and Nolan takes a ball inside. Ball 1. Play Nolan a step or so to the left in the outfield. Pro again ready. Pitch on the way. Up high, a fastball, and it's 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes on Nolan. The set and the pitch. Nolan swings and misses at a fastball, and it's 2-1. Troy Ward on deck. Petrie off the second. Sullivan from first. Pro from the set. Looks back at second. The pitch is a breaking ball strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Nolan. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Looks like that wind is blowing in from right field. Nolan hits a slow roller left to the mound. Fumbled by the pitcher. Pro turns and throws to second, and too late. Sullivan got there just in time. He didn't slide. And Nolan is out at first base.
Up the bat, right fielder Troy Ward.
I didn't see how they scored that. Did you see that, Marv? Was that a hit or an error?
No, I didn't.
We'll check that out, and Troy Ward will be the batter. So the bases are loaded. We'll check and see how they ruled on that. Ward is 2 for 2 with a couple of singles and 2 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Strike over the inside corner, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Troy Ward at the plate. There's a ground ball hit out towards short. Up with it is Venasio. Throws to second. Out there on to first. A double play. 6-4-3, and it doesn't make any difference. Post 22 doesn't score. They gave Nolan a hit on that play that Pro tried to field to the left of the mound, and then now Ward is hit a two-hopper to the shortstop, and Venasio turns it into the double play. In the third inning, Post 22 blows a good chance. No runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 on. At the end of 3, Rapid City leading Claremont, California. It's Rapid City 5, Claremont, California nothing. 3 innings of play, Rapid City leading Claremont, Post 22 with 5 runs on a total of 7 hits. They have committed no errors and left 5. And for Claremont, no runs, no hits, no errors, and they haven't left anybody on. Wayne Sullivan, over the first 3 innings, has recorded 4 strikeouts, and the only man that reached was Jorge Paz, who walked with 1 out in the second, and then he was picked off. So it's the top of the batting order for Claremont in the 4th, and Junior Pro, the pitcher, to lead off. He started the game in center field. Pro lined out to Mike Reed in left field to start the game. Bilger up to the edge of the grass at third. Pro with good speed. And here's the left-hander to the left-hander. And it's up high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 5-0, Post 22 as we start the 4th. And they could have had more. Here's Sullivan's 1-0 pitch. And he missed inside, and it's ball 2. John Venasio, the shortstop, on deck, and then Tai Hashioka, the left fielder, to follow here in the top of the 4th inning. Sullivan's 2-0 to Pro. Missed outside, ball 3. 3-0 on the Claremont pitcher. Wayne so far in the year now has walked a total of 17 men in 35 innings. And there's walk number 18 as it's ball 4 outside. And Pro is on. I'm sorry, that's walk number 20. That's the second walk given up in the game by Sullivan, his 20th on the year. So here is John Venasio, the shortstop, who struck out in the first. Here's the pitch. Swung out a ground ball in the hole. Bilger over to field. It throws to second out there, and the throw to first base is not made. Out at second base is Pro as Nolan was trying to make the throw to first and lost control of the ball. Bilger, though, made a nice play moving to his left to cut the ball off as it was going towards the hole. It's a 5-4 force, and Venasio becomes the base runner at first base. 1 out, and Tai Hashioka, the left fielder, up. He struck out to end the first inning. So Doyle holding with Venasio at first base. Here's the throw to first base, and he is out at first base as Sullivan, for the second time in the game, has picked off a Claremont base runner. He picked off Paz in the second, and he picks off Venasio here in the 4th, the second out of the inning. So 2 out, nobody on, and Hashioka, the left fielder, up. So Wayne will work out of the windup now, and here's his pitch. And a breaking ball bends in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Sullivan, who still hasn't allowed a hit, he's walked 2. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and he missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball in for a strike, and it's 1-2. Good fastball there by Sullivan. 1-2 on Hashioka. Sullivan with a long look. Steps off the pitching rubber now. Now we're ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul at the plate. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Two out here in the top of the 4th inning. Sullivan's pitch on the way. It is a ball outside, a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield is straight away. Sullivan into the motion. Wayne's 2-2 pitch, and Hashioka swings and chops a foul at the plate again. Just got a piece of it. Count runs along at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 4th inning. Rapid City leading 5-0. Here's the motion. Sullivan's pitch. Swung out, a chopper hit to the right side. Doyle going over to field. It will throw to Sullivan covering, and he's safe at first base. It'll be a base hit for Hashioka. And injured on the play is Hashioka as he went stumbling over the bag, but he gets up now and looks like he's all right. That's a tough way for Sullivan. He made a good pitch, and Hashioka hit it right off the end of the bat, rolled it wide at first base. Doyle fielded the ball, and his only play was to Sullivan, and Wayne actually was trailing Hashioka going down the first baseline, and Hashioka had him beaten to the bag. So an infield single brings up Rich Vasquez, the 3rd baseman.
Sullivan turned a somersault out there.
Vasquez struck out in the 2nd. There's the first hit for Claremont. They have a base runner now with 2 out. Top of the 4th inning, some light sprinkles again falling here. Vasquez at the plate, the cleanup hitter for Claremont. He is 0 for 3 so far in the tournament with a run scored. Right-handed batter, Sullivan's pitch. And it's a ball outside, and that time, as Wayne Sullivan was delivering that pitch, Hashioka was actually standing on the first base bag as he wasn't able to read Sullivan's move. Here's the set. And he'll throw to first base. Runner back. 1 ball and no strikes in Vasquez. 2 out, top of the 4th inning. Claremont batting with Hashioka at first base. Sullivan's pitch. High, ball 2, and it's 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. Outfield is straight away. Here's the set by Sullivan. The pitch on the way. It is a strike in there. It's 2-1. Good to see Jerry Harder today, the coach of Fargo, whose team is here. Jerry's been involved in Legion Baseball in Fargo now for, I think it's about 20 years. There's a high fly ball into right center field. Ward is coming in, calling for the ball, and Ward hauls it in to retire the side. Vasquez retired on a fly ball to Troy Ward over in right center. No runs on a hit, and 1 man left on. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The score remains, it's Rapid City 5, Claremont, California nothing. Tom Doyle and Scott Lauer will lead off in the inning for post 22, and if anybody gets on base, Dean Bilger will hit. Well, it still seems to be coming down rather lightly, the rain. Doesn't look like it's anything serious at this point. Of course, our rain delay Saturday when we were on the air, the last thing I said before we went on, oh, I don't think this will last very long, and an hour and 15 minutes later, we started again. We've got some changes, apparently, for Claremont, so we have another pitching change. We'll get the changes for you. We'll return to Miles City with more action in 30 seconds. The new pitcher is Bill Pope for Claremont. A left-hander, the third left-hander they used. He throws a strike to Muffet, and the next pitch is bounced foul off to the left, so it's strike two. Bill Pope, the new pitcher, now in left field is Eric Gomez, and Junior Pro has gone back to center. 2-strike count on Muffet. Here's the pitch on the way by Pope, and it's a breaking ball over, and Sean watched it go by. Striking out for the second time in a row. He had walked his first time up in the first inning.
For post 22, first baseman.
One out in the bottom of the fourth, and here is Tom Doyle, the first baseman, who walked in the first, and he was called out in the second. Oh, Junior Pro was in there for 2 innings in relief. He gave up 4 hits, no runs. And he struck out a total of 5. He walked 2. One out in the Rapid City fourth, and Tom Doyle up. Tom came into the game at 374. Here's the windup by Pope in the pitch. Swung out, a foul off the end of the bat, squibbed down the third baseline. 1 strike the count. Rich Vasquez at third, John Venacia at short, Joe Ingraham at second, and Glenn Cottle at first. Defensively, the infield for Claremont. And a breaking ball inside to Doyle. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. In the outfield now, it's Eric Gomez in left, Junior Pro in center, and Jorge Paz in right. Nick Cece still catching. Bill Pope, the third pitcher, delivers. A ball inside. It's 2-1 on Doyle. Scott Wauer will hit next. Doyle, who got off to a very torrid start this year. He had 10 hits in his first 15 at-bats. Slices a foul off to the left, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tom's still trying to get his pitching in shape. He's 1-3 on the year pitching, and he's got too good of an arm not to be used in the mound. He did come in relief in the Firecracker. He came in relief against Covina, pitched 2 scoreless innings, walked no one, and struck out 2. Swings and misses at a breaking ball, striking out. So there are 2 outs now in the 4th inning.
Shortstop, Scott Wauer.
Here's Scott Wauer, the shortstop. That is 8 strikeouts now that Claremont pitching has recorded in 3 2/3 innings. Wauer has been called out, then he doubled in a run in the second. He's 1 for 2. Swings and lines this one into left field. Over comes the left fielder to make the catch, Gomez, and retire the side. Wauer hit the ball hard, but Gomez ran over to grab it, running towards the foul line. And 3 up and 3 down for post 22 in the 4th inning. So we go on to the 5th. Claremont will send up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. At the end of 4, it's Rapid City 5 and Claremont, California, nothing. Post 22 needs to get in here, the top of the 5th inning in, to make this an official game, and they will start with Jorge Paz, the right fielder, who walked in the 2nd inning, but then was picked off. So Jorge Paz, the right fielder, to bat here in the top of the 5th inning, bottom of the 5th inning, I should say. What happened to our home plate umpire? We're all ready to go, and our home plate umpire is gone. You mean he's been calling balls and strikes without knowing where the plate was? That rain has come down a little bit harder here lately, and get that plate scraped off with all the mud off of it. Sullivan staying loose with the shortstop, Scott Wauer. So Jorge Paz leads off here in the top of the 5th inning. Correct myself, top of the 5th. Paz, as we said, walked in the 2nd, then was picked off. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Well, it'll be nice to see Wayne have a real quick inning, then it can rain all at once. Sure been involved in a lot of rain lately. At home, rained out, of course, Tuesday night. Swing and a miss, strike 2, and it's 0-2. They have a covered grandstand here. It's a nice ballpark here in Miles City, so fans can go underneath that. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a foul. Rolling in back of home plate. The count runs along at no balls and 2 strikes. Sullivan's given up 1 hit over 4 innings. Walked 2. Struck out 4. Here's the pitch. Fastball just missed the outside corner. A good pitch on 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Paz. And the pitch. Missed outside again as 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jorge Paz leading off here in the top of the 5th. Sullivan's pitch. Swinging and a foul off to the right out of play. Still 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung out, a bouncing foul outside of third. And the count remains at 2-2. I can't really tell how heavy that rain is. It's steady, I know that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch on the way. It's swung out, a ground ball to Bilger at third. It takes a hop on him, goes off his chest, and goes on into left field. And on at first base is Paz. We're going to give him a hit, I guess, on the play. It was a bad hop, and Bilger really couldn't do much with it. Here's Glenn Cottle, the first baseman. Fairly steady, I guess, so Rapid City leading 5-0 here, but battling not only Claremont, but the weather. Pitches high to Glenn Cottle, the first baseman, for ball 1. Cottle hit back to the pitcher in the second as Sullivan made a fine play on him, fielding his little ground ball to the left of the pitching mound. Breaking ball inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 on Glenn Cottle. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. A ball outside, and it's 3-0. Of course, what you like to do now is, if Wayne doesn't know it, throw strikes and make him hit the ball. Apparently easier said than done right now. It's a 3-0 count on Cottle. Paz at first base. And the pitch. And apparently it was inside, maybe a little bit low, in ball 4.
Off the bat, left fielder.
So there are runners at first and second, nobody out for Claremont, and Eric Gomez, the left fielder, up. Gomez struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Gomez stepping in. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. Ball is bunted at and missed. Strike 1. No balls and a strike. Nobody out. Top of the 5th inning. Rapid City leading 5-0 with the rain coming down. And Paz at second, Cottle at first. Doyle playing off the bag in front of Cottle at first base. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, and it's 0-2. Nick Cece, the catcher, will hit next. Gomez started the game on the mound, went to center field, now in left field. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung out a ground ball over Sullivan's head. It's going to be a tough play for Nolan. He's up and throws too late to first base. An infield hit for Gomez. As he had a high bouncer, Sullivan reached up, couldn't get to it. It was a tough play for Nolan. He did the best he could. It was just little hope of getting Gomez at first base. So Claremont loads the bases here in the 5th inning with nobody out, and the batter is Nick Cece, the catcher. Cece grounded to short in the 3rd inning. Sullivan into the windup, and here's the pitch. Swung on a line drive, caught by Doyle, and at first base, a safe. They ruled him safe. No, they ruled him out. They did rule him out at first base. A double play. A line drive to Doyle, and what more of an opportune time could that ever happen? A line drive to Doyle, and they trapped Gomez off of first base for a double play. So there are 2 out now in the top of the 5th inning, and Joe Ingraham, the second baseman, up. He flied to center in the 3rd. What a very fortunate play there for Rapid City. 2 out. Runners at 2nd and 3rd now for Claremont, and the number 9 hitter at the plate. Here's the pitch. Fastball strike on the outside corner. 0-1. My goodness, how important that play is at first base. 16th double play of the season for post 22. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside a ball as Sullivan was nibbling at the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. They had a rain delay earlier today, about an hour and 15 minutes or so. High fastball, and it's 2-1 on Ingraham. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Jorge Paz, the runner at 3rd, and Glenn Cottle at 2nd. 2 out. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Ingraham. High and tight for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Junior Pro, the pitcher, is on deck. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside corner, and we have a full count, 3-2. Now stepping out is Ingraham. A 3-ball, 2-strike count. 2 outs. 5-0 Rapid City, top of the 5th. Sullivan into the motion. Here's the payoff pitch. It bounces to the plate. It skips back to the screen. The runner's coming home, and he scores to make it 5-1.
He missed home plate. He did not go.
Paz comes in to score. As Wayne bounced that one about 6 or 7 feet in front of the plate. It's ball 4. It'll be an RBI. No, it isn't an RBI, as the bases were not loaded. What was I thinking of? Paz scores. Cottle ends up at 3rd. Ingraham, the runner, at 1st. So a wild pitch. And it's now 5-1, and it brings up Junior Pro. Pro, the pitcher, is lined to left and walks. Well, Wayne doesn't have to worry about a shutout now. He can worry about getting the last out. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Wayne's given up 2 hits this, and he's given up only 3 hits in the game. And really, 2 of them were really scratch hits. In fact, all 3 of them really have been scratch hits. Except the ball maybe that was hit to Bilger. That was a pretty sharply hit ball.
How you doing through that window, Terry? Okay. All right.
5-1, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Left-hander batting Junior Pro up, and the pitch is a ball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Two out and runners at the corners. Sullivan delivers. Swung on a ground ball, base hit into left field by Dean Bilger between Bilger and the line. In the score is Cottle to make it 5-2, and stopping at 2nd is Ingraham. So it's a 5-2 Rapid City lead. Here's John Venazia, the shortstop, who was struck out and bounced into a 3rd to 2nd force. So there are still 2 outs, runners at 1st and 2nd. Now Sullivan wants a new baseball. It's the 3rd hit of the inning for Claremont. Here's the pitch. Wild pitch. You throw it alone inside. It skips by the catcher, and the runners move up. Ingraham to third and Pro to second. And it's a 1-ball count in Venassia. Lauer comes in to talk with Sullivan, and now goes Les Reiners out to the mound. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Petrie and Reiners talking with Sullivan. The conversation continues. Now that breaks up, and Venassia at the plate. 5-2, Rapid City's lead has been cut here in the top of the 5th inning, and Claremont with a golden chance with 2 outs. They have runners at second and third to get it even closer. Sullivan into the windup, and here's the pitch. Fastball over a strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Wayne working out of the windup with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on a ground ball to Doyle. He knocks it down, picks it up, shovels to the pitcher covering, and out at first base on a close play. A very close play at first base. And Venassia is ruled out. 3-1 on the putout. In the 5th inning, 2-run score for Claremont on a total of 3 hits, no Rapid City errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The score, Rapid City 5, Claremont, California 2.
After the top of the 5th.
To 2. Rapid City scored its first run in the 1st inning on Steve Nolan's home run with 1 out. And they scored the 4 other runs in the 2nd. 1 on a bases-loaded walk to Nolan, 2 on an RBI 2-run single from Troy Ward, and then Scott Lauer had a run-scoring double in the 2nd. So it's 5-2 as Claremont scored 2 runs in the top half of this inning, and Dean Bilger, the 3rd baseman, leads off, and the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 1. Dean has grounded to second and struck out. He is 0 for 2. Bill Pope, the 3rd pitcher used by Claremont, a left-hander. Into the windup in the pitch. Missed outside and high. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bilger. Petrie and Reed to follow here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball, and it's 2-1 now on Dean Bilger.
Light sprinkle yet.
2 balls and a strike.
He's standing outside.
Dean still looking for his first extra base hit of the year. He came into the game with 17 hits. Takes a strike on the outside corner, knee high. Good pitch by Pope, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bilger, who has collected now 17 hits in a total of 41 at-bats, came into the game at 436. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a big bouncing ball hit out to the right side. Ingraham, the 2nd baseman, has it and throws him out. Bilger out 4-3 on a ground ball to second base.
Up the bat for
That'll bring up Dennis Petrie.
catcher Dennis Petrie.
Petrie walked in the 2nd and scored. He walked again in the 3rd. So he hasn't had an official at-bat. Average still at .323. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Center fielder Pro a few steps to his right towards left center. Bill Pope's pitch on the way, and Petrie takes a ball down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Post 22 with just 1 game tomorrow at 4 o'clock against Lethbridge, Canada. Here's the pitch. Outside, a fastball. 2-1 now on Petrie. Light rain coming down, steady. A 2-1 strike count. Here's the pitch. Down low in the dirt, skipping away from the catcher. We do have a 2-hour time limit also in this tournament. I think we're about 25 minutes away from that, somewhere around there. No inning can start after that time. Here is the 3-1 pitch, and it's a strike, and it's a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Swung out, a ground ball hit again out to Ingraham at second. Moves a few steps to his right to field the ball and throws out Petrie. Ingraham, the second baseman, making the play again, moving towards second base. So with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning, Mike Reed will be the hitter. Reed walked and scored in the 2nd. He struck out in the 3rd.
Started the game at 10:27.
10:27 was the official starting time in the game. Here's the windup by Bill Pope and the pitch. Reed bunts at the ball and misses. 1 strike. He tried to drop it down the third base line. Well, Bill Pope came on to start the bottom of the 4th inning, and he's retired all 5 men he has faced, including 2 strikeouts. Here's the left-hander into the motion, the pitch to Reed. Down low for a ball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Mike. Pope and his catcher, Nick Cece, meet halfway between the mound and home plate. With 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th, and Rapid City holding on to a 5-2 lead. Here's the windup and the pitch. A strike rather, on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 on Mike Reed. Here's the pitch. And that one's down low. Count levels off at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Reed steps out. Now he's ready once again. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low and outside, a ball. It's a full count. Wayne Sullivan will bat if Reed can get on. And the payoff pitch. Ball 4, and Reed walks and goes down to first base. Second time Reed has walked in the game. And that's the first man to reach against Bill Pope. Here's Wayne Sullivan. Wayne is 2 for 3. Was thrown out trying to bunt himself on in the 1st, then had a bunt single in the 2nd, scored a run. Hit a ground ball single in the right field in the 3rd. He's 2 for 3. Looks at a breaking ball high for ball 1. The 2 hits tonight give Wayne a total of 57 on the year, which ties him now with Sean Muffett for the team lead in that category. Throw to first base, and Reed is back. Sullivan now with 57 hits on the year and 150 at-bats. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. Ball 2. 2-0 on Wayne. Steve Nolan on deck. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner, and it's 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. Just missed. Maybe I've been a little bit low. 3-1 now in Sullivan. Three balls, 1 strike. The pitch on the way. It's swung on. A little pop-up down the left field line, twisting off, and it lands foul by about 2 or 3 feet. About 40 or 50 feet down the third base bag, down the line, and the count is full now on Sullivan. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Back to first base goes Mike Reed. Bill Pope looking in for the sign. Here's the set. And a throw to first base, and Reed is back. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. He'll be going with 2 out. There he goes. Swing and a miss. Sullivan strikes out, and the inning is over. Pope gets his 3rd strikeout in relief. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left on base. 5 full innings of play. The score remains Rapid City 5, Claremont, California 2. 4 hits. No errors, and Claremont has stranded 3. Wayne Sullivan starts the 6th inning. He's gone all the way. As Wayne looks for his 5th win of the year, which would tie him with Eric Stonecipher for the most wins in the staff. And it will be Bill Pope, the pitcher, to lead off in the 6th inning. Pope up for his first time. He replaced Tai Hashioka in the batting order. Hashioka had struck out and had an infield single. Pope played right field in the game against Cody. Had 1 at bat, had 1 hit. Looks at a strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike on Pope. Sullivan into the motion, and here's the pitch. And a breaking ball. Missed, and it's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. Off the outside corner. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Post 22, leading by 3 here in the 6th. Here's the pitch. High and outside, ball 3. And it's 3-1. Wayne might be getting a little tired. He walked 2 last inning. And quite a few of his pitches now are getting up in the strike zone. Or up so high they're out of the strike zone. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's ball 4, and he walks Pope. And that's going to get some activity down in the bullpen for Rapid City. Dave Grunstrom, the catcher, running down there. It looks like Jeff Barbier, running down there to start throwing. Rich Vasquez, the 3rd baseman, up as Claremont will get the warm-up jacket on at first base. Vasquez, the cleanup hitter, has struck out and flied out to Ward in right field. He is 0 for 2. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. I think Claremont would want to keep things going as quickly as they can. They have a 2-hour time limit, and we were at about 20 minutes 3 or 4 minutes ago.
17 minutes to go.
Vasquez at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on a hard ground ball up the middle. It goes on into center field, and this will send Pope to second base. Up with the ball is Muffet. And there are runners at first and second, and nobody out here in the 6th.
For the Cardinals, right fielder Jorge Paz.
Here is Jorge Paz, the right fielder. Paz has walked and singled off Bilger to left field. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored. He represents the tying run. Claremont scoring both of their runs last inning. Here's the pitch. And it's a strike, a breaking ball in there. They scored that after they had loaded the bases with nobody out, and Nick Cece, their catcher, lined into a double play to put 2 outs. But they still scored 2 runs after that in the inning. Now they have runners at first and second. Sullivan's pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Chopped to Bilger at third. A fair ball on the bag. He steps on third. Throws to first. Double play. 5-3 double play. And there are 2 outs now in the 6th inning. The batter will be Glenn Cottle. Vasquez going to second on the play. Bilger fielded that ball actually standing on the third base bag. A fair ball. Both the third base and home plate umpires signaling a fair ball, and then he had to make his throw to first, a good one, which he did. A 5-3 double play, Rapid City's 2nd double play of the game, and 17th of the year. So 2 outs, a runner at second base, and here's Glenn Cottle, the first baseman, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. right-handed batter. 2 outs and Vasquez at second base. Sullivan's pitch is a breaking ball in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Post 22 has come up with a couple of double plays at the right time tonight. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Low and outside. 1-1 on Cottle. He bats 6th in the Claremont order. 2 out, top of the 6th. Stretch by Sullivan. Here's the pitch. Swung out, a ground ball hit out to Lauer at short. He's got it. Here's the throw to Doyle at first base for the out, and the side is retired. Short to first to get Cottle. And Claremont's threat goes by the boards. No runs on a hit, and they leave 1. We move now to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The score: Rapid City 5, Claremont, California, for Rapid City in the bottom of the 6th against Bill Pope. He's done a good job in 2 innings. He's allowed only 1 walk and struck out 3. Nolan is 2 for 2. He's hit his 2nd home run of the year in the 1st inning. He walked with the bases loaded in the 2nd, then had an infield single in the 3rd. He has scored 2 runs, knocked in 2 runs. Here's the pitch. And it's low and outside, ball 1. Steve Nolan playing at second base. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on a line drive into right field for a base hit. He hit it down towards the bat handle, but dumped it out into right field. So Steve gets his 3rd hit of the game. Rapid City's 8th, and it brings up Troy Ward. Ward has 2 singles in the 1st, again in the 2nd. His single in the 2nd knocked in 2 runs, his 28th and 29th RBIs of the year. And then he hit into a short to second to first double play in the 3rd inning, his last at bat. Nolan at first base, Cottle holding with him. Pope's pitch. High fastball, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Pope from the set. Here's the pitch. Very high and outside, ball 2. 2-0 on Ward. Troy hitting 3rd in the order. Two balls, no strikes. Nolan with his lead from first. He's got a pretty good lead out there against this left-hander. Here's the pitch. High ball 3, and it's 3-0 on Ward. All 3 of the pitchers that Claremont has used tonight are left-handers. And, of course, Sullivan, a left-hander for Rapid City. Post 22 ahead, 5-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the stretch and the pitch. It's a ball outside. Ward walks, forcing Nolan to second.
Up to bat for post 22, center fielder Sean Muffet.
Looks like the rain is really almost stopped. Very, very light. Post 22 now with runners at first and second, and Sean Muffet, the center fielder, up. Muffet has struck out twice and walked. He walked his first time up in the 1st inning. Here's the pitch. Ball is bunted, foul behind home plate. This year's South Dakota State American Legion Baseball Tournament will be in Yankton. That'll be August 15th through the 19th. And the Central Plains Regional Tournament this year is in Fargo, North Dakota. That will be August 26th through August 30th. As Sullivan, or rather Muffet, squares the bunt, taps it out in front of the plate. A good bunt picked up by Cece, and the throw to first base is just in time to get Muffet. A good sacrifice. 2-3 on the sacrifice, moving Nolan to 3rd and Ward to 2nd. And the batter will be Tom Doyle, the first baseman. This year's American Legion World Series at Stevens Point, Wisconsin, September 3rd through the 7th. So Rapid City with a 5-2 lead, a good chance here in the bottom of the 6th inning to make it a little bit more comfortable for Wayne Sullivan in the 7th. Doyle is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice and walked. Takes a pitch down in the dirt. The ball rolling away from the catcher. Nolan started to go, but hustles back to third base. Nolan started to come down the line. The ball never really got that far away from Cece, the catcher. Only about, maybe 10 feet or so. Count on Doyle is 1 ball. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Swung out, a roller fouled up the first baseline. Fielded by Cottle in foul territory. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tom with a good chance here to hit that 50 RBI mark. He has a chance also to get that team record for RBIs, which Les Reiner set of 83. Tom's sitting at 49 right now, but he's got a couple of men on base. Here's the pitch. Swing and a chopper foul off to the right. So the count on Doyle now, 1 ball and 2 strikes, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Rapid City did all its scoring early, 1 in the 1st and 4 in the 2nd. Both of the Claremont runs coming in the 5th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Breaking ball low and outside, ball 2, and it's 2-2. Good stop there by the catcher, Nick Cece. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back of the plate. So the count runs along at 2-2.
About 8 minutes left.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the stretch and the pitch. The infield is in on the right side, and the pitch is low for a ball. The second baseman is up about halfway. Infield in at the corners. And the shortstop is playing his normal depth, maybe up a step or so. The pitch to Doyle is swung on and missed, and Tom strikes out. So there are 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Well, Tom has walked and he struck out 3 times, which isn't good, but in fairness, he's faced 3 pretty good left-handers. So there are 2 outs in the 6th, and here's Scott Wauer. Scott is 1 for 3. He doubled in a run in the 2nd. Hit the ball hard as last time up, but he lined it right at Gomez, the left fielder, in the 4th inning. So Wauer 1 for 3. His double was his 3rd. His RBI is 14th. Infield backs up with 2 out. Out of the set is Bill Pope, and here's the pitch. High outside fastball, ball 1. 1-0 on Wauer. Looking ahead to the Claremont top of the 7th, they are due to have the lower third of the batting order: Eric Gomez, Nick Cece, and Joe Ingraham. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, it's ball 2 on Wauer, 2-0. If he gets on, Dean Bilger would bat. Rapid City trying to add to its 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Pope is working out of the windup now. Here's the 2-0. Bounces it to the plate, blocked by Cece, and it's ball 3. 3-0. Dean Bilger waiting on deck, hoping for one more shot at a base hit tonight. Dean is 0 for 3. Stepping back in now is Scott Wauer. Here's the set. The 3-0 pitch. It's ball 4, low, and Wauer walks. So Nolan at third, Ward at second, and Wauer at first. 2 outs, and Dean Bilger up. Dean has twice grounded out to second, and in between he struck out, so he's 0 for 3. Stepping in here against Bill Pope with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Curveball down low for ball 1. Dean looked like he had a notion, but kept the bat back, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Shade him a couple of steps around to the left in the outfield. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike over the inside corner and a pickoff play at third, and Cece throws the ball into left field. Nolan will score. Ward will go to third, and down to second is Lauer. A throwing error on Cece, the catcher, as he tried to pick Nolan off of third. And that makes it 6-2 in favor of Rapid City here in the bottom of the sixth. The count on Bilger, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Dean. Here's the pitch. Swung on a line drive. Base hit in the center field, just to the right of second. Ward scores. Lauer's coming to the plate. He will score. And it's 8-2 Rapid City. Bilger on a 2-2 pitch at a line drive just to the right of second on 1 hop and has skipped on into center field. So Dean gets his 9th and 10th RBIs of the year. And the batter now will be Dennis Petrie. Petrie is 0 for 1. Dennis has walked twice, scored once. His last at bat, he grounded out to second. Bill Pope from the set delivers. High fastball, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So 3 runs in for Rapid City, bottom of the sixth. It's now 8-2. Post 22 leading. Bilger leading from first base. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Dennis kind of waved at that pitch. A fastball off the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Petrie batting number 8 in the order. Takes a fastball wide for ball 2, and it's 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a liner sliced off to the right, foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes in Dennis Petrie.
2.5 minutes.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth. Here's the stretch. Bill Pope's pitch. Petrie at the bouncing ball to third, takes a second hop to Vasquez, and the throw to second base is too late. The second baseman was late getting over there. So Bilger is safe at second. Petrie is on at first base, and Mike Reed will be the hitter. Reed has walked, struck out, and walked. He is 0 for 1. Here's the stretch by Pope and the pitch. It's a strike over the inside corner, 0-1. Two outs here in the bottom of the sixth. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside, and it's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. Fastball outside, it's 2-1.
What do you have to finish again?
2 balls and a strike.
2 out, then finish.
2 out here in the sixth. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung out a fly ball to right. Drifting back a couple steps, paused. Now he is under the ball and he makes the catch. So Reed flies to right, and in the 6th inning, Rapid City scores 3 runs, and they up their lead to 8-2, and we'll return with more action from Miles City. The score is 8-2, post 22. We'll return after this message. Leading by the score of 8-2. One of the runs against, well, 3 runs against Pope in his 3 innings of work. He also walked 1, and he struck out 4. So Wayne Sullivan has an 8-2 lead as we start the top of the 7th inning. Wayne 3 outs away from his 5th win of the year, and Eric Gomez, the left fielder, will lead off. Gomez is 1 for 2 with an infield single. He has struck out. Left-hander against left-hander, and Sullivan's pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen. 1 strike. Wayne looks superb the first 3 innings. I think is tired a bit the last 2 innings. Rapid City's gotten a couple of double plays the last couple of innings, which have really helped him out. He throws a breaking ball down in the dirt outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the 7th, 8-2 Rapid City. Post 22, 1 game tomorrow at 4 p.m. against Lethbridge, Canada. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, a big bouncing ball hit to the left of Wauer. He fields it moving towards second, throws low to first and skips it by Doyle. He recovers the ball, but safe at first base is Gomez.
First error.
There'll be an error charged on Wauer.
For the Cardinals, the catcher, Nick Cece.
So Gomez on at first base, and here's Nick Cece, the catcher. Cece is grounded to short, and then with the bases loaded in the 5th inning, he had a line drive to Tom Doyle, who was playing off the bag and up in front of the runner, and Doyle snared the ball and was able to tag Gomez off of first base for a double play. CC is 0 for 2, right-handed batter. Sullivan's pitch. It's high, ball 1. Jeff Barbier is still throwing for Rapid City again down in the bullpen. 1-0 on CC. Doyle is holding with the runner, even though he's ahead by 8-2. And a throw to first base, and Gomez is back. Probably a situation where you'd like Doyle to play off the bag and in back of the runner. Here's the pitch. And a breaking ball bends in for a strike, and it's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the set. And the pitch. Curve is hit back to Sullivan. He turns. He throws to second. Out there on the first base. Too late. Force out at second. And that forces Gomez. Cece becomes the base runner now with 1 out, and the batter will be Joe Ingraham, the second baseman.
Off the bat for the Cardinals, the bottom of the order, second baseman Joe Ingraham.
Ingraham is flied to center. Drawn a base on balls. He's 0 for 1. 2 out or 1 out, and a runner at first base. Here's the pitch. Bouncing to the plate, blocked by Dennis Petrie. 1 ball and no strikes. Ingraham, the 9th man in the order. Sullivan. It's a fine ball game tonight. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, a ground ball to third. Bilger knocks it down with his chest, throws to second base, and the ball is not held by Steve Nolan at second. And that'll be Rapid City's second error of the inning, an error on Dean Bilger. He knocked it down, but then his throw was low to second. And there are runners at first and second with 1 out, and the batter will be Junior Pro, who is back in center field. He is 1 for 2. Left-handed batter, but he's hit the ball twice to left field. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Pitch low and away. Good pitch by Sullivan. No balls and a strike. Claremont with runners at first and second here in the 7th with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Outside, a ball, 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Missed outside for ball 2, and it's 2-1. Two balls and a strike on Pro. He's had 2 hits and 6 at-bats in this tournament. Takes a curve outside, and it's ball 3. 3-1. Well, Well, nothing is ever easy, and this is no exception. It's been a struggle the last 3 innings. Here's ball. No, it's a strike call, and it's a full count. 3-2 on Junior Pro. John Venassia, the shortstop, on deck. Here's the pitch. Swung out. A bouncing ball hit wide at first base again. Doyle up with it, and no play. Doyle, who would be thinking about 1 out, looked towards second, and when he did that, that gave him no chance of making the run at the play at first base. All you want in that instance, of course, is the out at first, because the runner doesn't mean anything at third or second. And all of a sudden, Claremont has the bases loaded and 1 out. Here's John Venassia, the shortstop. He hits a bouncing ball towards the hole to right field. Nolan goes over, and it's off his glove into right. In to score comes Cece. And the bases will remain loaded. It's 8-3. A single to right field for Venassia. After Pro's infield single to Doyle. Credit Venassia with an RBI. Cece scoring on the play to make it 8-3. Ingraham ends up at third, Pro at second, and Venassia at first. And here's Bill Pope, the pitcher. Well, 1 more base runner, and Claremont will have the tying run at the plate. Bill Pope. Left-handed batter. Here's Sullivan's pitch. Swung on a foul, back and out of play. 1 strike. Rapid City 8, Claremont 3. Claremont has had 2 hits this inning, plus a couple of walks. The pitch is a ball, and it's 1-1. Couple of Rapid City errors opening up the gates in this inning. Here's the pitch. And it's a ball outside. He took kind of a half swing. They appeal, and it's not allowed. 2 balls and a strike. Any run scored against Sullivan this inning unearned. Here's the pitch on the way. It's swung on, lined out into center field. Muffet's going back, still going back, and it's going to be over his head. Ingraham will score. Pro is going to score. Venassia is going to score. It's going to be a bases-loaded triple and 3 RBIs for Bill Pope. It is now 8-6, Rapid City leading, and there's still only 1 out here in the 7th. A bases-loaded triple. 4 runs in here in the 7th. Les Reiners is going to the mound. Dave Plouffe is trying to leave the stadium. No, he's going down there to watch Barbier warm up. Well, this is really frustrating because Sullivan, for all practical purposes, should be out of the inning. And instead, he's looking at the tying run at the plate. Sullivan will stay in. Vasquez will be the hitter, the cleanup man. He's 1 for 3. He has struck out, fly to right, and single to center. He's 1 for 3. Right-handed batter. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. 4 runs in for Claremont. And they trail 8-6. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a base hit in the left field. Pope will score, and now it's 8-7. A line drive, single to left field for Vasquez. 8-7, the tying run now at first base, and the batter will be Jorge Paz, the right fielder.
Off the bat for the Cardinals, right fielder Jorge Paz.
Jorge Paz. Paz is 1 for 2. Now it looks like we're going to have is that a pinch runner down at first?
I think we did.
The batter will be Jorge Paz. He singled in the 5th. He hit into a double play his last at bat in the 6th. Curveball is high for ball 1. Vasquez lifted for a pinch runner. As the pitch comes in, it is a ball inside, and it's 2-0. Sean Bossier is pinch running for Vasquez. Sean Bossier. 2-0 pitch is a ball low, and it's 3-0. 3-0. And you have to feel that if this man gets on, this will be Wayne Sullivan's last man. Here's the pitch. It is a ball low. Paz walks, and that forces the tying run to second, the go-ahead run at first, and Dave Plouffe is going to the mound, and this will be all for Wayne Sullivan. Glenn Cottle, the first baseman, will be the hitter. And Jeff Barbier, looks like, is going to be the new pitcher. So Jeff Barbier, the right-hander, is going to come on to replace Sullivan. Sullivan is going to stay in the game and go to center field. And moving to right field will be Sean Muffett. And Troy Ward will move from right to left, and Reed will come out of the game, so Barbier will bat in the number 9 spot. So Jeff Barbier, the new pitcher. Troy Ward moves from right field to left field. Sean Muffett from center field to right field, and Wayne Sullivan goes from the mound to center field. We have a pitching change. Rapid City leading 8-7 here in the 7th inning with 1 out, and Claremont having runners at first and second. And we'll return right after this message.
Off the bat, first baseman Glenn Cottle.
ERA a shade under 4 per game. Cottle, a right-handed batter. Runners at first and second. Here's Barbier out of the set. And the pitch. Breaking ball in for a strike, and it's 0-1 to Cottle. Cottle hit back to the pitcher in the 2nd. He walked in the 5th and grounded out to Scott Wauer at short in the 6th. No balls and a strike. Doyle playing off the runner at first. In back of the base runner, leading from second is Bossier, the pinch runner. Here's the pitch on the way. It is a low fastball at the knees, a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Cottle didn't think that pitch was in there. Steps out of the batter's box. There's only 1 out here in the 7th. Claremont has scored 5 runs. They're within a run. Rapid City led 8-2 going into the inning. Barbier ready. He is 0-2 pitch. Outside fastball, and it's 1-2. Well, he might get Cottle to go after a bad ball there. Eric Gomez, the left fielder, is on deck, and he started the whole inning off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. He threw a change curve and struck him out.
Off the bat for the Cardinals, left fielder Eric Gomez.
So there are 2 outs. And Eric Gomez, who started the inning off by reaching on an error, is at the plate. Sullivan, the most runs he can give up as far as earned runs is 2. Eric Gomez reached on an air infield single, and he has struck out a left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball outside, ball 1. Good-looking curveball. 1 ball and no strikes. Claremont's come up with a grand rally here in the 7th. Still battling with 2 outs. The tying run at second, the lead run at first. Now time is called as Gomez steps out. 1 ball and no strikes. Jeff Barbier trying to save this win for Wayne Sullivan. Here's the stretch. The pitch on the way, and it is a high breaking ball, and it's 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Leading from second, Bossier, the pinch runner. Jorge Paz off of first. The pitch is a ball outside. It's 3-0. If he gets on, Nick Cece, the catcher, will hit. Of course, a walk here would force the tying run at third and the go-ahead run in scoring position at second. 3 balls and no strikes. Barbier ready. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Just missed inside for ball 4, and Gomez walks to load the bases.
Off the bat for the Cardinals, catcher Nick Cece.
This one going down to the final out here. It's the bases loaded. 2 out. And Nick Cece, the catcher, has grounded to short, lined into a double play, and hit into a force out earlier this inning, but later scored. Right-handed batter. He's 0 for 3 with a run scored. Bases loaded, 2 out. Barbier working out of the set. Here's the pitch on the way. Breaking ball is poked foul off to the right. No balls and a strike. Cece, the 8th man in the Claremont order. Rapid City jumped off to a 5-0 lead in this game through 2. Claremont cut it to 5-2 with 2 in the 5th. Rapid City scored 3 in the 6th to make it 8-2. But Claremont has scored 5 here in the 7th. They have the bases loaded. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball, base hit into left field. It's going to tie the game. Bossier scores. The go-ahead run's coming to the plate. The throw is not in time. And it's 9-8. Claremont, California leading. Nick Cece with a hard ground ball single through the hole to left field to put Claremont, California out in front by the score of 9-8. Scoring Bossier, the pinch runner, and Jorge Paz. Gomez going to third. And Cece with a big 2-run single. Here's Joe Ingraham, the second baseman. He has flied to center walk, reached on an error earlier this inning. All of these runs this inning unearned. Barbier from the set. Here's the pitch, and it's a low fastball for ball 1. Claremont has come up with 5 hits in the inning, 2 Rapid City errors. There have also been a couple of walks. Time is called now as Ingraham steps out. One ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch. And it's low ball 2, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, the thing to do Barbier wants to do now, of course, is just try to stop it right here. It's only 1 run. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike over the outside corner. It's 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the stretch. The pitch on the way. It swung on a high fly ball into left center field. It should be caught. Sullivan is over there in left center, and he makes the catch. But what an inning for Claremont. They score 7 runs in the 7th inning. 5 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Claremont 9 and Rapid City 8.
7 runs
Over from first base to pitch here in the bottom of the 7th. Rapid City will have the top of the batting order. Boy, Wayne Sullivan must just be looking for his 5th win of the year. Goes into the 7th inning with an 8-2 lead. And have Claremont score 7 runs in the top of the 7th. But you got to hand it to them as they were battling all the way and never said quit, and they came up with 7 runs. They got a couple of breaks early in the inning. And then later came up with a couple of big base hits. So give him credit. 7 runs and 5 hits in the 7th inning. And now Cottle is on to try to wrap this one up for Claremont. Wayne Sullivan, Steve Nolan, and Troy Ward will be the hitters. Cottle coming into pitch. A right-hander. And Wayne Sullivan stepping in. Sullivan is 2 for 4. He's had a couple of singles. He's hit back to the pitcher and struck out. 2 for 4 for Wayne Sullivan. So 9-8, Claremont leading as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Sullivan stepping in. Cloudle, the right-hander. Into the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on a ground ball to third. Booted by the third baseman, and Sullivan is on. Sullivan reaching on an error by the third baseman, Vasquez. And post 22 gets a break to start the bottom of the 7th to get the tying run on, and here is Steve Nolan. Nolan has hit a home run in the first inning. He walked with the bases loaded in the second, had an infield single in the third as the throw goes to first base, and he singled again in the 6th, the right field. So Steve is 3 for 3, has scored 3 runs and knocked in 2. He's around the bunt, bunts at the ball, and fouls it at the plate. 1 strike. All of the runs last inning charged to Sullivan. He gave up a total of 9 runs and just 2 of them earned. Ball is bunted at and missed by Nolan for strike 2. Wayne left after working 6 1/3 innings. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nolan strikes out, and there's 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring up Troy Ward. Ward singled to left in the first. He singled to left again in the second to knock in 2 runs. Hit into a short second to first double play in the third. And then in the 6th, he walked and scored. He's 2 for 3, a run scored and 2 RBIs. A throw to first, and Sullivan is back. Wayne, who has stolen 20 bases on the year and has been thrown out only 3 times. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed by Ward for strike 1. Cottle looks like he knows what he's doing out there. A runner at first base and 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Time is called. And now they want him to take the glove off. He was wearing a glove underneath his glove on his left hand. The umpire asked him to take that off, so the count is 1 strike on Ward. Ward, who's hit 4 home runs this year. Sullivan with his lead. Here's the pitch. Down low, blocked nicely by the catcher, Cece. One ball and 1 strike. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball outside. It's ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike. Here's the set by Cottle. The pitch. Swung on a ground ball, hit the short. Out at second, on the first, double safe, they call him at first base. Safe at first base, says the first base umpire. Safe at first base. Let's see that on the videotape replay. So Pat Coughlin is the new third baseman this inning, too. That error was not committed by Vasquez. I don't want to pin that on him. Vasquez listed for a pinch runner. And Pat Coughlin went in to play third base. Post 22, to be honest about it, gets a break there on that play at first base. Looked like they had Ward by a half step, but he was ruled safe, so Ward is safe at first. He's there with 2 outs. The batter is Sean Muffett. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball for strike 1. What a galling loss this will be if it ends up this way. Here's the set. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss by Muffett. It's 0-2. Sean has struck out twice, walked, and sacrificed. Two down. Leading from first is Ward. The pitch on the way, and it's a fastball low and inside. Good pitch, though, on 0-2. He worked him outside and came in with a fastball over the inside corner. Didn't miss by much. Here's the 1-2. Muffett swings at the ground ball, base hit into left field. A good piece of hitting there by Muffett because he choked up in the bat a little bit and stroked a breaking ball into left field. Ward stopping at second, so Rapid City is still alive. It will be Tom Doyle now, who has gone hitless in 3 at-bats. He walked in the first, and his last 3 times up he has struck out, called in the second, and swinging in the 4th and the 6th. Ward at second, and Muffett at first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Any run scored this inning by post 22 will be unearned. Here's the pitch to Doyle. It's a fastball outside, tailing away from the left-handed hitter for ball 1. Tom, who leads the team in RBIs with 49, in doubles with 19. He also has a triple and 3 home runs. Here's the pitch. A high fastball. Ball 2, and it's 2-0. The on-deck hitter is Scott Wauer. 9-8. Claremont leading. 7th inning, bottom of the 7th. Here's the set by Cottle, the right-hander's pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. Claremont scoring 7 runs in the top of the 7th inning to overcome an 8-2 Rapid City lead. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, a fastball. He kept it away from Doyle. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So post 22 down to its last strike. Ward leading from second, Muffett off of first. Here's the set. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball high and outside, ball 3. So now Cottle's in the situation where if he walks Doyle, that'll put Rapid City with the tying run at third and the winning run at second. 3-2 on Doyle. 2 outs. The runners will go. Here's the set. There they go. The pitch is ball. Strike 3. Doyle is called out on strikes. And Claremont, with a great rally in the 7th inning, pulls this one out 9-8. They score 7 runs in the 7th inning, and now we're having a scuffle out there in the field. As it looked like we might have a little hanky-panky going out there on the field. Again, there's some discussion, some words. And the game is over, though, and Claremont wins 9-8 with a great rally in the 7th inning. They score 7 times to win it, 9-8. The final, will wrap this one up with the totals and highlights in 30 seconds. As post 22, plain and simple, blew this one. They led 8-2 in the 7th inning. Claremont scoring 7 runs on 5 hits, all the runs unearned. There are a couple of errors in the inning. And the funny thing about this whole game, both teams played errorless baseball until the 7th inning. Claremont winning with 9 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. 8 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors for post 22. The winning pitcher in relief is Bill Pope, and the losing pitcher is Wayne Sullivan.
And at 11 o'clock, Las Vegas, Nevada, to take on
Rapid City had built up a 5-0 lead after 2. They scored a run in the first and a home run by Nolan, 4 more in the second. 2 on a single by Ward, 1 on a bases-loaded walk by Nolan, 1 on an RBI double by Wauer, and it was 5-0. Claremont started its comeback in the second with 2 runs, and it was 5-2. But Post 22 scored 3 runs in the sixth, and at that time it looked like that was a little icing on the cake and really solidified their lead. It went to 8-2. But in the seventh, Claremont scored 7 runs on 5 hits, 2 Rapid City errors. There were also 2 walks in the inning. And the big blow, a bases-loaded triple by the pitcher at that time, Bill Pope. And Claremont hangs on to win as Rapid City had the bases loaded in the 7th inning when the game ended. So Rapid City's record now 25-20 on the year. Post 22 will have just 1 game tomorrow, and that will be at 4 o'clock against Lethbridge, Canada. And Steve Nolan had 3 hits in the game for Rapid City, including his 2nd home run of the year. But that was about it as far as the hitting stars for Post 22. Final score again was Rapid City blowing an 8-2 lead in the 7th inning. Claremont scoring 7 times in the 7th to win 9-8. And our next broadcast will be Saturday morning right here from Miles City at 11 o'clock Saturday morning when Post 22 plays Bismarck, North Dakota. A real tough one tonight. The final score was Claremont 9 and Rapid City 8. Until Saturday, this is Tom Rudabush. Good night from Miles City.